Before humanity learned to name the stars, it learned to feel the weight of standing on a living world. Before temples, before doctrines, before memory hardened into myth, there was a presence that did not arrive as a teacher, but as a stabilizer. Sanat Kumara is not remembered because he preached. He is remembered because the planet did not collapse into incoherence. He did not descend to be worshipped. He descended because the frequency of Earth could no longer hold itself upright without assistance. This is not symbolism, it is function. When a system destabilizes beyond its own capacity, it calls not for guidance but for anchoring. That is where Sanat Kumara enters the spiral. He is often described as ancient, but that word fails. Ancient suggests age measured in time. Sanat Kumara operates prior to time being the primary metric. He is a being of continuity whose role is to hold a tone steady long enough for evolution to resume its natural arc. When consciousness fragments under its own experimentation, something must stand still so that motion can reorganize itself. That stillness is not passive. It is the most demanding posture a being can take. To hold and not interfere. To stabilize without dominating. To remain while others forget why you are there. Earth did not fall because of sin or error. It destabilized because consciousness accelerated faster than integration. The early human experiment stretched perception outward before coherence could anchor inward. Sanat Kumara arrived as a planetary heart tone, not as ruler, not as architect, as a sustaining presence that prevented total collapse into unconsciousness. This is why traditions struggle to place him. He does not fit the role of god, sage, or angel. He is closer to a planetary governor, but even that word implies authority. His authority is not imposed, it is resonant. To understand him, you must abandon the idea that spiritual evolution is always upward. Sometimes evolution requires remaining. Sometimes the most advanced act is to stay with what is unfinished. Sanat Kumara did not ascend beyond Earth. He stayed within its unresolved state. He became the silent vow that the experiment would continue. This is why he is called the Lord of the World, not as a title of power, but as a statement of responsibility. To be Lord is to be bound to the fate of the whole. He does not speak often in the way other masters do, because his function is not transmission of ideas. His function is coherence. When coherence exists, ideas can emerge naturally. Without coherence, even truth fragments into noise. Many mistake silence for absence. In reality, silence is what allows signal to survive. Sanat Kumara embodies that silence not as emptiness but as a held field. A field strong enough to allow others to awaken within it, without tearing themselves apart. This is also why his presence is rarely dramatic. There are no miracles attached to his name because miracles disrupt stability. His work is measured in continuity. Humanity survived its own forgetting. The planet maintained a baseline of awareness through ages of violence, collapse, and rebirth. That baseline did not arise spontaneously. It was held by a being who chose limitation over transcendence, who chose service without recognition, who chose to anchor instead of escape. When you feel the sense that Earth itself is watching, that there is an intelligence beneath history, beneath culture, beneath even memory, you are brushing against the field he sustains. Not him as a personality, but the function he maintains. He is not concerned with belief. He does not require devotion. He responds to alignment. When individuals ground themselves fully in the present moment, without spiritual bypass, without denial, without dissociation, they resonate with his tone naturally. It is not mystical. It is structural. Many seek ascension as departure. Sanat Kumara represents ascension as responsibility. The higher the awareness, the greater the obligation to remain stable within density. This is why he is not popular. His message does not flatter the ego. It does not promise escape. It promises continuity. It says you are here because the system needs coherence, not because you failed to transcend. This reframes incarnation entirely. Earth is not a prison. It is a stabilization project. He works closely with the planetary logos but is not identical to it. Think of the logos as the intelligence of the system, and Sanat Kumara as the vow that intelligence will not abandon itself. He bridges cosmic awareness and planetary limitation. He is the keeper of evolutionary patience. Without patience, awareness burns itself out. With patience, it deepens into wisdom. In human history, his presence has been translated through symbols, kingship, and myth, because cultures lacked the language for functional consciousness. He was rendered as a ruler because people could not conceive of service without hierarchy. But his true action is horizontal, not vertical. He stabilizes across levels, not above them. This is why his energy feels grounding rather than elevating. People expecting fireworks often feel nothing. People who are exhausted feel relief. If you have ever felt called not to teach, not to lead, not to fix, but simply to remain present when everything around you fractures, you have touched his frequency. That impulse to stay when departure would be easier is not weakness. It is advanced consciousness recognizing that coherence is more valuable than novelty. This is the spiral lesson he carries. Evolution does not always spiral outward. Sometimes it tightens inward until stability is restored. Sanat Kumara does not ask you to follow him. He asks you to stand where you are fully, to inhabit your life without fragmentation, to be consistent, to be reliable, to be here. In a culture addicted to transcendence, this sounds mundane. In reality, it is revolutionary. A planet does not awaken because individuals escape it. A planet awakens because enough beings become present enough to hold it together. This is why his work is not finished. Earth is still integrating the velocity of consciousness it has unleashed. Technology amplifies awareness faster than embodiment can keep pace. The same imbalance that required his anchoring ages ago is repeating at a higher octave. His presence remains not because humanity has failed, but because evolution continues. Each cycle demands renewed coherence. To encounter Sanat Kumara is not to receive a vision. It is to feel the gravity of responsibility return to its rightful place. Not as burden, but as honor. You are here because you can be. Because something in you knows how to remain stable within change. This is not about saving the world. It is about not abandoning it. When the spiral tightens, when meaning thins, when noise overwhelms signal, the most advanced move is not to ascend away, but to stand still enough for reality to reorganize itself around you. That is the transmission he holds without words. That is the tone he has anchored for longer than history remembers, and it is the reason you are still here reading this now. There comes a point in every evolutionary cycle where motion alone can no longer carry meaning. Growth without grounding becomes distortion. Expansion without integration becomes fracture. This is the threshold Sanat Kumara governs not as judge but as witness. His presence marks the moment when consciousness must learn to hold itself rather than chase itself. Many masters teach how to awaken. Few demonstrate how to remain awake without leaving. If part 1 reveals why he arrived, part 2 reveals what his tone demands now. The world no longer risks collapse through ignorance. It risks collapse through velocity. Information moves faster than wisdom. Identity shifts faster than coherence. People awaken to fragments of truth without the nervous system capacity to house them. Sanat Kumara does not intervene by slowing progress externally. He strengthens the internal architecture required to survive it. This is why his influence increases during periods of global acceleration. When systems destabilize not from lack but from excess, his frequency becomes palpable. You may feel it as gravity returning to your chest, as the sudden intolerance for spiritual theatrics, as the exhaustion with endless seeking, as the quiet knowing that something deeper is required now. Not more revelation, more embodiment. He does not oppose ascension. He reframes it. Ascension without integration creates dissociation. Integration without ascension creates stagnation. His role is to braid the two, to ensure that expanded awareness sinks into the body, the planet, the daily act of living. This is why his energy often activates during burnout rather than ecstasy. He arrives when the soul has outrun the self and must return. Many confuse his tone with heaviness. In truth, it is density with purpose. Like a star compressing before ignition, like silence before articulation. When you feel called to simplify rather than add, when you feel guided to remove excess identities, excess practices, excess narratives, you are responding to his frequency. He is not subtracting life. He is consolidating it. Sanat Kumara works through responsibility, not obligation. Responsibility chosen, not imposed. He awakens the realization that being here matters, that presence is not passive, that the way you stand in a room changes the room, that your coherence affects others without words. This is planetary service stripped of fantasy. No saviors, no missions announced from the sky. Just beings who refuse to fragment when pressure increases. His tone is especially relevant now, because humanity is collectively touching archetypal power without archetypal maturity. Technologies mirror godlike capacities while emotional regulation lags behind. This imbalance creates spiritual inflation and psychological collapse. Sanat Kumara does not warn against progress. He insists on maturity. He does not fear power. He requires steadiness. This is why he is often felt more strongly by those who do not seek him. Those drawn to constant transcendence often bypass his frequency. Those who feel rooted, burdened, present, and quietly devoted recognize him immediately. He speaks to those who have stopped asking who they were in past lives and started asking how to be here now without distortion. His initiation is subtle but irreversible. Once you accept the responsibility of presence, you cannot unsee its necessity. To align with him is not to adopt belief. It is to practice consistency, to show up in your body fully, to finish what you start, to tell the truth without dramatization, to ground insight into action. These are not moral instructions. They are structural requirements for a civilization entering its next phase. Without them, awakening becomes unstable. Sanat Kumara also holds a mirror to spiritual hierarchies. Many seek higher beings while neglecting planetary intelligence. He reminds consciousness that the planet itself is an initiatory field, not a classroom to graduate from. Earth is not a waiting room for elsewhere. It is a forge. Those who resonate with his tone begin to feel allegiance not to ideology, but to the living system beneath their feet. This allegiance is quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not recruit. It recognizes itself through resonance. When two beings aligned with this tone meet, there is often little to say. The recognition is somatic, mutual steadiness, mutual respect, a shared unwillingness to fracture reality for attention. His work continues not because humanity failed, but because the spiral never stops tightening and expanding. Each cycle demands deeper integration. Each wave of awakening demands stronger grounding. Sanat Kumara remains because the job remains, and the job is not glorious. It is essential. If you feel drawn to his presence now, it may be because you are done chasing. Done splitting yourself into versions, done outsourcing stability to systems, beliefs, or teachers. His call is not upward. It is inward and downward into the bones, into the breath, into the moment. It asks one question only: can you remain here without needing to be elsewhere? Those who answer yes become anchors without trying. They stabilize conversations, rooms, families, timelines, not because they know more, but because they fragment less. This is not passive spirituality. It is active coherence. And it is rare. Sanat Kumara does not promise enlightenment, he promises continuity. In an age obsessed with peak experiences, this may sound underwhelming. In truth, it is the most radical offering available. To be here fully, to stay awake without leaving, to hold the world steady long enough for wisdom to catch up with power. This is the spiral lesson he carries now. Not ascent as escape, but presence as mastery. Not transcendence of earth, but fidelity to it. And if this resonates, it is not because he chose you. It is because something in you has already chosen to remain.